Um, Last night, late, I could get a few words. Once it didn't really organize that much, so excuse me, a little choppy. I guess I start off by saying, here we go again. And I want to start by giving thanks. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. First and every it's all chopped up, it's not easy. Thank you all for who came and partake, who came to some or all. And Vicky and I really appreciate all of you guys being here. We want to first time, I want to thank an anonymous person who did notify me that this person has been to all 73 times. The only one. I want to thank you. Thanks to all the family, friends, grandparents, and all your support during this time. Thank you all to the doctors and midwives and everybody else from the hospital. Thank you, Vicky, for giving a person the best gift you could ask for. And most of all, I want to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for just giving everything in life. We named the baby Rachmiel Binyamin after my father, Shalom. I spoke briefly at Eitan's Bar Mitzvah, which was also a Sudat Hodayah. During my speech, I briefly mentioned that when my father spoke about at Yishai's Bar Mitzvah 2 years earlier. My father. Dad couldn't make it to the Bar Mitzvah. At that time, my parents were making Aliyah 2 months later. He was already sick, so he couldn't come back, go back again. He sent us a video which I played at the Bar Mitzvah, which I summarized at the Eitan's Bar Mitzvah. At the end of the speech, he wished the personal mazel tov, the grandparents, and then he mentioned Vicky and myself. To Vicky and myself, so as I said, at the end of my father's speech at Yishai's Bar Mitzvah, he thanked everybody, and he wished everybody mazel tov. And we got Vicky and myself, he wished us the bracha, shefa bracha, which simply explained an abundance of brachos that he wished upon us. I remembered when we were watching the video. At Eitan's Bar Mitzvah, it was hard. It was hard. Suddenly, there's somebody who at one point seemed invincible, isn't. Anyway, when he mentioned, and it was hard to watch, but suddenly when he mentioned the bracha shefa bracha to us, I suddenly had a very relaxed feeling, and just thinking that everything will be okay. And a bracha from JD is truly something special, as I'll mention. It's also I mentioned at Eitan's Bar Mitzvah. And since then, since my father's bracha, shefa bracha, when I think about how life has been, Eitan, is Eitan here now? Eitan is doing wonderfully, right? And surgery and doctor's being success, and he celebrated Eitan's Bar Mitzvah, and in really a beautiful fashion. And then 9 months later, after my father's yahrzeit, almost exactly 9 months later, we are zocher to bring a beautiful baby boy to the mitzvah Brit Milah. And which is a continuation of the neshama of the legacy of my father by using his name. As we know, the neshama has the word shem in it, meaning a person after the deceased person is brought down, brings the level of the deceased neshama into the newborn. And when I think about it, that bracha of shefa brachos did come true. There is so much I can say about my father, his relation to family, friends, Klal Yisrael, his devotion to Asiyat Torah, Limud Torah, his Kriyat Torah, and doing just what is right. I just think about his relation to me, being the oldest one in the family. Sorry, Mom. But being the oldest in the family, I felt it was special. But I just want to read, but lack of time, I just want to read 2 letters that we received during the Shnat Avihut. We have more, but these 2 just summarize what my father was about. It starts off here, Mrs. Witkin. I live in Far Rockaway, and I called her in the ship. I wanted to write a note as well to express my condolences on the loss of your husband. He used to do tremendous chesed on behalf of my family without making a fuss at all. I have a son with special needs, and Rabbi Witkin would take his paperwork back and forth to the appropriate office to get stamped, so that my son could get the help he needed. We will always be grateful to Rabbi Witkin. So on. Another letter. This is, dear Mrs. Witkin, this is a very belated message of condolences, for which I apologize. Your husband was such an extraordinary person, I wanted to write to you. So many times he went out of his way to resolve conflicts between Title I. That was the program he used to work for, the Board of Education, the Board Title I teachers, and the school administrations with the yeshiva he used to be the liaison to. And it often put him in a difficult position. He was good-natured, understanding attitude, sense of humor, and was such a mensch. I think these 2 letters really sum up who and what my father was. My father was a real mensch. He always tried to take that extra step to help somebody. Yeah, and there were always little steps, but yet those little steps are what made such a difference in people's lives. As I'll say many times, point out that it's the little things that change the world, not the big people that always try to do, the big thing that people try to do and really never goes anywhere. This was said before, also at the Levaya and also at the Shloshim, that my father also, one thing he did what he saw was right. He did not care what others would think. If something was right, he did it. If it was not right, he did not do it, period. In a world where so much is based on appearance and perception, to say that, I don't care if this is the way it's supposed to be, this is the Erev Hashem, is truly something special. So these 2 characteristics, being a mensch and helping others and doing what is right, is really the foundation of a human being. And without the foundation, nothing else can grow. So between having the zchut to name a son after my father, which Chazal also explained helps give the child the koach, the power, the mazal, however we understand it, for a person to accomplish what that person accomplished, and I have to add on to also have a mother like Vicky, who also has those 2 wonderful characteristics of being a mensch, and always trying to help others, and always trying to do what's right. It's not exactly like me. We conflict sometimes because of it. But really, and many times over the many years, I tell my Vicky, you remind me of my father. And she looks at me. I'm not sure if she was happy. But those 2 characteristics my father had and Vicky had, and with those 2 combinations, this child should turn out to be an extraordinary child. I just wanted to conclude with a very brief about Torah, which Eitan has inspired me to write. Eitan was a little emotional about the Brit Milah. So he crying a little bit, right? So I want to just write a short few words to help alleviate this concern. We see the Pasha of Pinchas in Paragraph A, Pasuk Yibet, that the Ribono Shel Olam tells Moshe Rabbeinu, it says, Hineni noten lo et briti shalom. I am giving you my covenant of peace. The next Pasuk explains that the Brit we are talking about is the promise of the external kahuna, as we said, which is the priesthood of Pinchas and all his future generation. The Baal HaTurim points out that the word shalom is written with a cut-off letter. Love is cut off, which makes it look like a yud, making the word shalom now looks like shalem. Or shalim, which is shalem, which means whole or complete. We learn from this that the promise of the eternal kahuna will only be applicable if the Kohen is complete and not a Baal. The question arises, why does the Pasuk tell us that about the requirement of shleimus in a Kohen from a letter that is lacking completion? It seems like a roundabout way of doing it. What's the answer? The answer may be that there are times where to become complete or become perfect can only come through deleting something. And the best example of that is Brit Milah. Before the male child undergoes the removal of the foreskin, he's considered a Baal Mum, an Arel, and an uncircumcised Kohen. and he's forbidden to serve in the Beit HaMikdash. It is the brit milah that completes him and makes him a shavai. And as we know, the Mishnah Nedarim says in Daf Lamed Hey, Daf Lamed Aleph says that it says Gedola Mila Shekol Mitzvot Shasei Avraham Lo Nikra Shalem Ad Sheimo Shenema Hitalech Lefanai V'Yei Tamim. He wasn't complete Avraham until he completed the Brit Milah. And Targum Yonatan comments on the word Hineni Noten Lo Et Briti Shalom. And Pinchas he explains, according to those who say that Pinchas is really Eliyahu Hanavi, and it tells us that Eliyahu, and it's brought down that Eliyahu Hanavi is the Malach HaBrit. It is therefore appropriate that we learn out the din of Shleimut from Vav, what we call a Vav that was cut off, because in this way Eliyahu testifies that the Shleimut of Klal Yisrael comes dafka through Milah, through Milah. So even though our son, Yerachmiel Binyamin, is not a Kohen, we hope that this Brit Milah represents for him the Shleimut of Pinchas ben Elazar, Ben Aaron HaKohen, and may be an example of Shleimut that's unique to all of Israel.